Hello and welcome to Saturday. It's about 10 o'clock, well, 9:50 in the morning. You can see the time. And yesterday we touched upon something briefly, and I think it's time we go into it. If you've been following the saga as of sometime this week or last week, I've been pushing to move over to my Arch Linux install. Let me just. I gotta do this for the fans. There we go. Um, yeah, I've been wanting to install and mainline Linux OS for a while now, and I figured, why not? So, set up everything, did a complete reinstall, and now we have a very, very good system, I'd say. No issues so far, and been loving it. Up until like yesterday. If you've been following along, then you'll know that I've been trying to switch over to KDN Live, which is KDE's non-linear video editor. I've been using Vegas Pro Edit or something like that, Vegas Pro, for the past while now, ever since I started this, so past almost 500 days. And we're coming quick on that. I gotta think of something to do. And yeah, it's been good for me. Like, it's easy to use. I've been confident what I can do with it. It's very simple for me and quick and easy. I understand it. It does everything I want it to do, and that's great. Now, obviously, there's more I could do. I'm using version 16 as opposed to 19, which is the latest, just because I got a deal on it. Shout out to Humble Bundle. And, you know, Vegas is Windows exclusive, so I figured if I want to switch to Linux and I want to start using more open source software, everything on my computer, well, on my Arch install is open source. So I've been pushing for that, and we're getting there. Well, except for a couple things like Spotify and Discord. I mean, I can't really live without those. So, we got to make compromises where we can make compromises. So, um, after messing around with KDN Live, I'm like, okay, it's a bit finicky, but I can handle it. I can make do with this. Uh, so naturally, what I did is, toss in a clip that I recorded, see if it'll work. Like, I edited pretty much another video. I think it was like the 14th or 15th, around that time. Just recreated it in KDN Live, and it was great. Not too bad, pretty easy. I got things handled. I understand it. I can do basic videos, so happy with that. And then, once I rendered it out, I noticed that the color was a bit flattened. And there's a whole discussion about color space and, if it's using like the PC or the TV tag, if it's using BT601 versus BT709. Again, it's all about color. So once I saw that, I'm like, it looks washed out, it looks bad, I don't like it. So naturally, I try to find a way around it. Spent a few hours trying to do that. The day I figured it out, and then yesterday, and wasn't able to do it. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and install DaVinci Resolve. Installing that was a process. I got it eventually. It's just I can't read and I'm dumb. And then after installing it, load up a file, toss it in, and it doesn't work. There's a bug right on the Arch Wiki page that says, where is it? Here we go. MP4 clips are not working. This is a known bug. The preview image is blank, and when you load in the audio, it's just a blank. It's like no audio. When I load in, and that's what my phone records. It records dot MP4 files, and then I'm like looking for my camera. I'm like, where is it? This records .mov files. I could set it to .mp4, but .mov is better quality for me. It's just, better. That only has audio. So this says just make it into a .mov file. .mov files don't work. MP3 files work, but I cannot get a video file. And if I'm unloading a clip off the camera or off my phone, trying to throw it into timeline, it's like, oh, you need to do this extra step. That's not going to work for me. Something that I do daily, DaVinci Resolve is out. So uninstall that. Now we're left with KDN Live, and that doesn't work. So I tried Olive. I tried another open source alternative. I could try others, but at this point, I'm like, I might as well just stick with Vegas. And that's not such a bad thing. Like, boot into Windows just to render out a file. And it's like, I can switch back and forth between Windows and Linux, so it's not too big of a deal. And I'm probably going to anyway for things like games, but I have Steam installed in here. I've, like, it's just, it's a pain, and it sucks. But you gotta make do with what you can. And, we'll see. It's frustrating that I went through so much effort and all this work and just to get it working, and then something completely out of my control because software is broken. And sure, it's open source and I can learn how to fix it, but that's a whole nother can of worms that I do not really want to open at this time. And I could ask for help, but it was working on here for like a few minutes. Like, after my first attempt or so, it was working. I was like, oh my gosh, it's working. So I screenshotted everything, copied all the settings, restarted the application, made a brand new project, copied all over the settings, made sure everything was correct, rendered it out, same issue. So I figured, if it's going to do that, then it's not worth using, because it's not worth the effort if it's going to like cause an error as soon as I create a new project from scratch, something that I might do. It's not worth it. So that's where we're at. Stuck with Vegas. We'll see how it goes, but probably gonna be switching back and forth between Windows and Linux. Not too big of a deal, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, that's what we're gonna call it for today. Thanks for listening to my rant about this, but hopefully won't be too bad. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow, and until then, later.